5 years ago, I thought I lost you forever. There is no curse that could ever tear me away from you. Will you marry me?
Yes.
Mistress, I have a little bit of news.
Don't ruin my morning.
Congratulations on the film. I am
you.
so obsessed with it. The wardrobe and the costumes are just so stunning. So I need to know, what was it like putting them on, physically transforming into your character, and how did that ready you for your performance?
Well, mine's kind of easy. I become like 8 foot tall, and I have fangs and horns. So it's hard to be anything but Maleficent when you're in that outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah.
What about for you guys?
No, it's such an icon. I mean, I think with these, you know, for Aurora, for me, it's like, all right, I think about the iconic, when you look up the Sleeping Beauty, you know, there's so many, there's the ballet, there's paintings, there's obviously the Disney film. It's like, so I think we wanted to pay homage to all of those things and bring our best Aurora, you know, live action version that we could. So, it's really exciting. I mean, she's of the woods and beautiful, you know, flowers in the hair, and then she changes a bit when she starts to live with Queen Ingrid, and it's definitely a big shift, and that's also all to do.
I clean her up. You just add all this
all
like
to do with
oppressive
costume.
curls.
Yeah,
joking.
Yeah, her hair's up, and so that's very not her, but it's an extension of the character and the story. So costumes always help me so much.
Me too, because also by the time you're meeting with the costume designer, they have spent sometimes a year really doing research, and so for me it's incredibly helpful and a big part of my process. And I think with Queen Ingrid, the idea was that she, first of all, wears her well and just draped in her wealth with her jewels, and there's nothing subtle about that, and that she also, there's a sense of being in armor all of the time, ready for battle.
Yeah. Oh my God, costumes were so amazing. It's kind of like how I feel when I put on a robe. I like instantly feel rich for some reason. I don't know how like clothes can do that. Question for you guys. So in the movie, obviously Maleficent sort of forbids Aurora from marrying Prince Philip. Do you guys think you should get parental approval before getting married?
No.
Interesting.
No.
I think it really depends on the person.
The person's gonna
do what they're gonna do.
The worst thing to do is to say no.
No, because then they're gonna do it.
Then they're gonna do it for sure.
Yes. I just mean, like, should somebody get approval? And I think there's something lovely about that.
The tradition
in certain.
Sweet. Yeah.
I mean, I like the tradition of it, but I think at the end of the day, you want to marry who you want to marry.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough situation to be in if your parents don't approve. Angelina, you're joining the MCU, a world that you're very much a part of. Michelle, have you guys gotten around to talk about that yet, or exchange words of wisdom?
We will, though.
Okay.
We just got into costume
discussion.
The costume
issues.
discussion, yes. No, I will be doing that.
It's an important part of the process.
The costume.
I have a lot of questions.
There are many who prey on the innocent. I'm sure your kind would agree.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were making a threat.
Well, do you?
Do I what?
Know better.
Congratulations on the film, guys. I love it so much because it's so much of an origin story, and we learn really where Maleficent comes from. So can you tell me about your characters and who the Dark Fae are?
You want to take this one? I don't know. So the Dark Fae are, they are, as Angelina is, as Maleficent is, a member of this community, this tribe, that she has always been separate from, and now, finds that there are more of her, and so she is part of a group, and the Dark Fae are in this conflict, they're in this struggle with humanity, much in the same way that she is, and she was in the first one, that there's this conflict, this difficulty with human beings, and that in some ways has really defined the psychology of the Dark Fae, and how kind of, and their sort of, their togetherness, their sense of self, and the way that they deal in sort of opposition with the the troubles that they face.
And the world that they live in is so stunning. And your costumes and wardrobe, I was blown away. How did the physical transformation into your characters ready you for your performance? Like, did you guys wear wings on set?
No, I think the wings were the only things that were added afterwards. Everything else was practical. You know, I think you kind of create these characters. You know, we're analysing and working from the script long before we put any makeup on, forming ideas and instincts and approaches to how we're going to do it. And then when you start layering on all of the physical side of it, and you've got these extra cheekbones and pointy ears, and you feel the weight of the horns and the hair on the back of your neck, and you know you have these claws on your fingers, and you know the kind of the way that the costume would kind of make you stand with barefoot for the whole thing. It transforms you and takes you to another level, and it informs you on a physical level. So, you know, all of the kind of intellectual work that you've done previous to that, you then add on the kind of physicality to that, which gets you a lot closer to perhaps where you want to be. And then we just go on set and just go on instinct and autopilot, and it's very informative and very helpful.
I know, I can't imagine. Was it cool seeing you guys fly? Have you seen the film yet?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. It was, and in fact, something I've never done before. I don't know if you've done wire work
I've
before.
never flied.
You've never flied?
He's been a lion, but he's never flied.
Have you done wire work before?
I've done some on stage. Like
right,
on,
yes.
Some wire work. But not on film, I don't think.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was great fun.
It was good. The machines for flying were kind of, they were that, did you use those
forks, the tuning forks.
The tuning fork thing, and so you're sort of sent up into the air, and you can also be moved, and there's always that thing where you move, but you know, because if you're flying, your face kind of would probably move before the rest of your body, but you've got to coordinate that with whoever's on the tuning floor, you know, because if they're moving, and then you know, and so there's a whole lot of, you know,
wow.
a whole choreography that.
I can barely walk correctly. I don't know how you guys do it. Quick question. So in the movie, Maleficent sort of forbids and disapproves Aurora's marriage to Prince Philip. Do you guys think parents should have approval before you get married?
I think that, you know, of course parents can have opinions, you know, and I think their opinions are valid and informed on their children's lives. Approval, no. I think we are individuals, and that we should be open to all of the information from our loved ones and close ones and our mentors and guardians as such, but you know the decision is ours.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's really complicated actually, and I think that you know that I think I agree with you. You know that approval is one thing, and that's, you know, if it's like a kind of, you know, very, you know, from the top, you know, the people that know are going to tell you, like in anything. But I feel like it's really important to also kind of be open, you know. To be open to everybody's opinion. I mean, it's almost what you're saying in a way, but I feel like it's very easy to be very dismissive, especially if it's not what we want to hear, you know. But I feel like there is a sort of balance to strike between people. It really depends on where it's coming from, you know, and really understanding that different people have different opinions because maybe their own experiences, maybe there is some sort of knowledge that is at work and is at play, you know. I think we can sort of over-rely sometimes on a sense of our own individual sense of being right and being correct and knowing things. And
that's one of my favourite things about this movie and the sort of arcs that many of the characters go on, that we see changes in people's moral codes, that people are listening and open to different experiences and open to changing, you know, in this polarized time that we're in. It doesn't feel like everybody's open to that, and I think that's how we're going to you know, progress and find the way, as it were, by, you know, both listening to my own instincts, but also taking in everything that everyone has to say.
Philip asked me to marry him.
No.
I wasn't really asking.
Nor was I. Love doesn't always end well, Beastie.
Trust me. Let us prove you wrong.
Congratulations on the film. I absolutely love this film so much. I have a question for you guys. So in the film, Maleficent sort of forbids Aurora from marrying Prince Philip. Do you guys think parents should have approval before you get married?
It helps. But I don't think it's essential. I mean, no, I remember I asked my wife's father, but more out of, as a form, you know, just to be old-fashioned about it. I would have ignored him if he'd have said no, you know.
I think if I asked you in the film, you would have given me an easier time.
I would have done, yeah, but Dioval's sort of a big softie, really.
Yeah.
What about you, Harris? Do you think parents should have approval before?
I think it's difficult. It's by two sides. I think it's probably important for the parents to feel good about them, but no, ultimately it's the individual's decision.
Love it. I agree. So what was it like for you stepping into a role that was played by Brendan Thwaites in the last movie? Did you call him? Did you get any advice from him?
No, do you know, I think I just tried to approach it as a new project, and otherwise it would be, I think it gets a little complicated otherwise, you know, so I just sort of looked at it from the script and then jumped at it from there.
Were there any sort of challenges, though, just because someone else had played it? You know, did you want to kind of...
Well, I guess so. I think the film had progressed quite a way, and Aurora and Philip were sort of at a more mature level in their relationship. You know, they were sort of adults entering this new way, and they were trying to figure out a new way to move forward and lead both of their kingdoms and unite them. So it was mainly just figuring that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, for you, you are the literal definition of a wingman, and I feel like your character knows Maleficent the best. Yeah. Can you tell me what sort of, does she have any new powers, or do her powers evolve in this film?
No, I don't think, I mean, no, she doesn't have any more magic than she had before. But I think our relationship was developed in the time, you know, I think I'm one of the only characters, I know her inside out, and I know where her heart really is. And I'm the one who sort of dares offer, you know, or try and, you know, direct her in any way or offer advice. And that's a lot of fun. I mean, there was elements of that in the first movie of the sort of bickering married couple, but I think that's what all we've been doing in the 6 years interim between the two movies. She can still turn me into whatever she likes.
Right, and we get to see you turn into something else, which is awesome. Yeah. What message do you guys want people to walk away with after seeing this film?
I'd say what came out for me and what would be nice for people to take away is the care for the planet that you live on. That certainly came through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is, you know, there's a lot of, it's about celebrating our differences between one another and not, you know, and not listening to this divisive ideas that one type of person or one race of person or one species in this sense is so different from the other that they can't live together. I think there's a lot of that in the world at the moment, and I think that's also another one of the messages here.
Your second Disney movie.
Yeah.
Did your work on Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, inspire any of your work in this film?
Well, I think, I mean, every movie is different to make, but at the same time, you get a bit more experience, you know, for every movie you make. And Pirates was my first big, you know, Hollywood studio movie, and that was daunting at the time, and there's always going to be some level of that. But yeah, you get a little bit, you know, knowledge of how the machine works in a way, and that's good to have when you're standing there with like all these amazing actors and, you know, 1,000 crew, and, you know.
The Dark Fae, the world that they live in, is so stunning and amazing. What was the inspiration behind creating that world?
Well, I think that we wanted to create like their nest of origin, so to speak, and what we drew inspiration from was what we call like different biomes in you know, on the planet right now. You know, you have the tundra, you have the forest, you have the jungle, you have the desert. So I kind of wanted the nest to have all these layers as you flew deeper and deeper into it, and representing the 4 different dark fae, you know, that's existing in our universe.
Mm-hmm. It was so beautiful. And it's so cool because it is an origin story. And I didn't really think we were going to learn more about her origin. I would have thought, we would have got that in the last film. So what do you think people are going to learn that's new about Maleficent going into this film?
Well, I think we will learn that she's not the only one. She's not the only dark fae. She's not the only Maleficent.
Will we see her possess any new powers, turn into a dragon maybe?
Yeah. Can I say what can I say? I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, no, of course. I mean, this is I feel this is like Maleficent taken to the next level. And that's what I wanted to make. Also, I wanted to make the Maleficent 2.0 version. So yes, is the answer to that.
Well, I absolutely love this version.
Well, thank you so much.
So in the movie, Maleficent forbids Aurora from marrying Prince Philip. Do you think you should get parental approval before getting married?
Well, I'm kind of old school, so I actually just got married myself 6 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. And I think I kind of like the idea of the guy asking parents or parent for the daughter's hand. So in that way, that's what I did, and I kind of like that little tradition. That said, I mean, Maleficent, she goes along with this. She tries to, and that's what I like about this universe is that emotional, core and the string between Aurora and Maleficent that I, as a parent myself, can relate to,